Welcome to channel Qtomation. In previous session, we have seen about bootstrap dropdown, how to select element from bootstrap dropdown. So far we have also seen the basic select dropdown in which we can select a single element. We have also seen the dropdown in which we can select multiple elements. Today we will see one more type of dropdown, that is auto suggest dropdown. So if I want to show you a simple example of it, let's take this website. On this website, if I type Mumbai, so basically it's a bus booking website. So when we type something in this from city, we see some suggestions in drop down. This suggestion can change dynamically depending on the option which we are typing. So if I am typing Delhi, it is showing you some options from Delhi. If I type Pune, it will show you some options from Pune. So this is called as a auto suggestion drop down. And if I want to select some specific element from this drop down, then how we can select it, that we will show in this session. That I will show you how to select a single element from this auto suggest drop down. And when these options are displayed, not necessary that every time they will be in same sequence. Sometimes sequence can change also. So the approach we can take to select the option from this drop down is, we can go to this from field, we can locate this from field, then we can type the from city, and after typing the city name, whatever option, desired option you want to select, we can first identify a locator which will identify all these options. Then we can use for loop. We can store all these options in one variable, and then by using for loop, we can check one by one and we can select a desired option by using for loop. And once you select that option, you can break that loop. So that is the high level approach by which we can select element from auto suggest drop down. So let me show you in Visual Studio Code. Practically, let's perform this operation. So my use case is, when I type this Mumbai, I want to select a bus from one of the option, that is Mumbai Borivali. I want to select this option. So this is my use case. Now let's see how we can achieve it. So what I will do, I will go to Visual Studio Code. In this Visual Studio Code, I am going to create a new file. Let's name it as auto suggest demo.spec.js file. So we have created a file. Then I am using last session syntax. I am just copying it and I am just pasting that in our file. Rest of the part I am just removing. So this is the basic syntax of Playwright test which we have to write. So this is a test block. I am just naming it as auto suggest drop down demo. So we are going to select element from auto suggest drop down. Then what I will do, I will just use this URL of the website and let's paste that URL inside this go to statement. So in this test block, we have named the test case. Then we have used async keyword, anonymous function in which page fixture is there. Then we have used page.goto command in which we will open this URL. After opening this URL, what is the next step we have to do? So once you open this page, so let me just refresh this page once. So once we refresh this page, or let's say let's open this page, we have to first identify this source city element. We have to first select this and we have to fill the value of the city. So let's identify this from element. So I'm just inspecting it, and if you see, tag name is input and this is the ID. So I can use this ID along with input tag to write XPath. So input @ ID equals to the ID which we have copied. So this is the ID attribute. So if you hit this, it is identifying this from input field. So I am just copying this. Let's copy this XPath. Let's go to Visual Studio Code and let's use that locator, page dot locator. In this we have to pass that locator value and then we have to fill the value. So we have to type the value, that is Mumbai. So I am just typing this Mumbai value, and once you type this value in that drop down field, it will take some time to fetch the result and show those results in drop down. So sometimes what can happen when you type this field, it might take some time. If you see, it might take some additional time. It might take some additional time to display the result. So that's why what we will do, after putting this inside this from field, we will wait until the locator of one of this element is visible. So what I will do now, I will find out the locator. So I have identified this input field. We have also typed Mumbai in this input field. Now next step is we will wait until these drop down options are displayed. So we will use one condition in which we will wait for this drop down to be visible. So one of the elements from this drop down should be visible. So we have to find out the locator which will identify these drop down elements. So let's try to inspect it. So I can simply select any one of these element, just hover on that element and right click, and you can click on inspect. So it will highlight the element which we have selected. If you see, it is present inside li tag. Let me just maximize a bit. So it is present inside li tag. So every element is present inside li tag, and this li comes under this ul tag. So if you see, this ul tag is present, it is having some id, it is highlighting all the element. If you see, it is highlighting all these drop down. So I will try to write an XPath by using this ul tag. So what I will do, I will try to write one XPath by using this ul tag and id. So let's copy this id. So I will try to write ul @id equals to this one. So if you see, this is highlighting the entire drop down, but we want to find out the locator which will identify these individual elements. It will identify all these individual elements inside this entire drop down. So if you see, these are present inside the li tag. So these are present inside the li tag. This is the second li tag. If you see, this is the third li tag, and so on. So all these options are present inside the li tag. So what I will write, 2 times / li tag. So if you see now, all these options are getting highlighted. So this locator is basically identifying all these drop down options which are auto suggested. So totally if you see, there are 13 items, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. This is the last option and this is the first option. If you see, this is the Mumbai is the first option. So when I type this and pressing enter, you can see this is the first option. So this is the locator which we need. So what I will do, I will just copy this locator, and what I will do, I will just await page dot wait for selector. So I'm just using this command, that is wait for selector, and in this I will pass this locator. So until and unless this selector is visible, it will wait for some time. So it will wait for this locator to become visible, because after typing this Mumbai in that input field, it will take some time to load the options. So that's why we are using this command. Now the next step, once the options are loaded, so once options are loaded, now we want to capture those options and we have to store those options in one variable. So what I will do, I will create one variable, or let's say constant, from underscore city underscore options equal to, what I will use, I'm just assigning. So this is the constant which we have created, in which we will store all those locator. So I will just use await page dot locator, and the same locator which we have used in above statement, we have to pass that here. So this locator is identifying all those drop down suggestions. Now after storing this in this variable, in this constant, what we can do now, we can use for loop. So I can simply use for loop, and from this city options we can fetch one by one every option. So I will just use for in one of the variable, let's say from city underscore option of this from city options. So this is the collection. From this we are fetching one by one every option and we are storing it in from city option. And then I will just use this for loop, and then we will fetch the text from this single option, and that we can store in another constant, that is from city, that is the option. So we will fetch the text from this from city option and we will store it in from city equals to await from city option dot text content method. So from city option dot text content method. So it will fetch the text from this option and it will store it in from city. Now we can simply print that value as well. So let me print all those value from city. So this statement will print all the values which are displayed in that drop down. So let's save this file and let's execute to check whether this is correctly printing all the from city values which are displayed in suggestion or not. So let's go to terminal. Let's execute the command, that is npx playwright test. What is the file name? Auto underscore suggest underscore demo dot spec dot js. Let's execute this file. It will launch the browser. It will start the test case. Okay, so one small mistake which we have done here. What is that mistake? If you see, we are going to store, we have used page.locator, but when we use page.locator to capture multiple elements, we should not use this for loop. Instead of this page.locator here, we should use page.dollar symbols. It will identify these element handles and there we can use this for loop. So I'm just changing that page.locator to 2 times dollar signs. So now let's save this file. So now we can save this file and let's execute one more time. Let's execute this file. So again we will execute this file. This time it should print all the options correctly. So it will launch the browser. It will start the test. It will open the URL. If you see, Mumbai is typed, and after that, what is failed here? Let's see. Okay, so this is a small mistake again which we have done. It should be console.log. Let's save this again. Console.log. Now let's save this file and let's execute. Let's execute this file one more time. This time it should print all the values correctly. It is launching the test case. It will open that URL. It will type the Mumbai. It will wait for those locators to appear in autosuggest dropdown. And after that it will print all those values. So now it should print. If you see, the test case is passed this time. If you see in the console output, all these values are printed. Mumbai, Andheri, Dadar, Daisar, all these 13 values which we have captured here. So all these values from the drop down, values, all these values are displayed in our console. So we are able to capture and print those values in our console output. Now what we will do, we have to select one value from that. Which value we want to select? We want to select Mumbai Borivali value. I want to select this value. So for that what we can do, we can use if condition. So I want to select this Mumbai Borivali value. So I'm just copying this. Let's copy this value. And now instead of printing all these values, what I will do, I will simply comment out this statement. After that I will use one if condition. If my from city dot includes, I am using includes method in which I am passing this value which I want to click. If that from city includes this value, then I am just writing inside the if loop, then we have to click on this option. So I want to click on this from city option. Then I want to simply click on that option. So it will select that option. So that's it. So let's save this file. And now let's again execute this file. So this time what will happen? It will not print all the values, but it will check all the values one by one. If that value text includes this specific value, this specific text value, then it will click on that from city option. And as soon as we click on that option, we don't have to again iterate all the values. We can simply break the loop. We can simply break the loop so that it will come out of this loop. And now let's execute this. So let's execute this now. Let me clear out the console and let's execute this command one more time. So I'm just executing this test file. This time it should select this Mumbai Borivali option correctly. So it will launch the browser. It will open that web page. After opening that web page, it will type the Mumbai value inside that from city field. Then from that drop down, it will check all the values one by one. And for Borivali value, it will select on that option. So now if you see, it will type Mumbai. Then from suggested drop down, it will select Borivali. Correct? So that's what we wanted to select now. So that option is correctly got selected. So this is how we can work on auto suggest drop downs to select a specific option from that drop down. So you can simply practice on that. So what I would recommend you guys is, now you have selected one of the option from this field. Now you can practice by selecting destination city as well. So you can simply select this destination city. Let's type some output from, let's type some value in this, and from that you can simply select one of the destination as well. So you can do that in your practice session. So this is about selecting a specific value from auto suggest drop down. So We can handle auto-suggest drop-down selection in Playwright using a for loop. We can iterate through the list of suggestions and select the desired option which we want. So that is the code which we have seen in our example. You can also try out with different website, or let's say on same website also you can try out by selecting any value which you want to select. So you will understand the concept as well as practical session as well. So thank you for watching this video. In coming session, we will see some more interesting topic of